on that Friday morning to receive the remains of that late journalist Charles Water, who is our colleague here. Now he will be laid to rest on that Saturday, which is tomorrow. And of course, in the first hour, as I told you earlier on, that I will be joined by a potential guest in the studio here, and we will be discussing something very important, talking about that South Sudan women's participation in political process. And to tell you that I'm thrilled to be joined by three esteemed guests from that the National Press Club, which is, of course, a non-profit, non-governmental media organization serving as a platform where both the local and international journalists can share the experiences. And the esteemed guest that I have first is, of course, Agnes Dramio Martin, who is a student and deputy chairperson of that Law Students Association at University of Juba. Good to have you.
All right, thank you so much. As well, my name is Agnes Dramio Martin. The position chairperson is not my position, or deputy chairperson is not my position, sorry. I'm the Secretary General for School of Law Students Association. Yeah, thank you for joining us, and thank you for joining you too.
Thank you so much for that correction. And beside her, we have, of course, Mr. Mandre Joel Smith. Good to have you, Chief.
Yeah, thanks so much. I'm Andre Joel Smith from NTLA, Juba University, a student.
Good to have you in the first hour of that Sundown show. And of course, to my right is that Maulana Maria Jimmy, who is a lecturer at Catholic University of South Sudan. Good to have you, Maulana.
Thank you very much for your invitations, and we are here for you.
All right. Well, dear listener, those are some of the esteemed guests I have right here in the studio. And we will talk, of course, exclusively later on. If you have a question or comment, you can, of course, reach us on that 0911-022-986-986. Meanwhile, you can drop in your comment or question that's via our Facebook page as well, and we'll get it back to you. And do not hesitate, of course, to text us exactly where you are streaming this broadcast from. As usual now, let's have a quick break, and after that particular break, when we come back, that's when officially we shall kickstart the show. I remain your host, Madrama James. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you, our esteemed listeners, for the vote of confidence in iRadio's brand as an independent broadcaster of news and information. Your vote of confidence has inspired our reporters and journalists to commit to the dissemination of accurate, verifiable, and credible news and programming to inform, educate, and entertain. As a result, iRadio's content has reached over 17 million people on Facebook, according to Facebook metrics for the last 3 years, a number larger than the population of South Sudan. Thank you for your continued feedback. For detailed news analysis, please check iRadio's website, www.iradio.org, and subscribe to or like iRadio's YouTube channel to get all our latest videos. iRadio, your eye on South Sudan.
Well, welcome back from that break. Let's now officially kickstart the show, and I would like, of course, to give this golden opportunity to that Maulana Jimmy. When we talk of that women's political participation in South Sudan, what are we talking about?
Thank you very much, Madrama James, for your invitation and hosting us here in High Radio. The question is very nice, and I hope people who are listening us from outside will mark me very clearly, and later you will ask any question is not clear. In case of South Sudan, women participations in political activities is very important. And when you see the government of South Sudan now, from presidency up to the county level, their involvement of women in political positions. We have a county commissioners who are the women, we have the governors who are the women, and we have the ministers who are the women, member of parliament, both council of state and National Assembly, and also in presidency we have the 2 women now. And I mean to say, women participations in the politics is very, very important for us and for South Sudanese to see a very tangible development. And why I say tangible development can be realized when the women involved in the politics, because they are very quick and they are very honest in passing the information about the issues affecting the society or particular community. And I said, and I advise, it's very important for women to be involved in political life or public life.
All right. Over to you, of course, Mrs. Agnes Dramio, as the secretary. When we talk of that women political participation and leadership, why do you think for us to have such conversation on air and with the public as well? Welcome.
Yeah, thank you so much, James, for hosting us in this beautiful evening. And our dear listeners, greeting to you all, and thank you for paying attention to our hosted of today. All right, when we talk about...
Get closer to your mic.
When we talk about importance of women in political participations, of course, women are the source of peace, and when they are involved in leadership, they discuss or advise young women, their fellow young women, and they also advise women's or girl child education, or they also advise men's, okay, to grow strong in the nation, you know. Yeah, that's why we say that it is very important for a woman to participate in political activities, especially Mama Rebecca Nyandeng. If you can see example of her, she is always a woman of peace. Number 2, Nunu Kumba, yeah, Speaker of Parliament. She is also what, a very inspiration to a young people to come up, you know. Yeah, so to do that one, we wanted more, not only them, but we wanted them to what? To empower more young women or more girls who are down there to come up, you know. Yeah, so that's it.
Yes, before we get deeper and deeper as to why these women are so important and there's need for them to also participate politically, what are some of the challenges women are facing in terms of, political participation and leadership? Your organization, that's the National Press Club, have realized.
Okay, what we normally face as women right now, harassment, yeah. We normally got harassment even though we wanted to get job, yeah. We got harassment through men, and then secondly, we have limited access to education, you know. That is what we are facing, and then we are having rate of violence against women. Like women, they are nations. They are not just housewife. They are nation, but men take them as housewife. So those are the challenges we are really facing as women. And for example, like you women, you wanted to stand for a position, but the replacement of women and being replaced by a man, it is also affecting us so badly. For example, Honorable Minister of Higher Education, that is Awuden, she was replaced, she was removed and replaced by a man, of which it affected us as women. So in that case, we are reducing from the position all the time. We are being removed and replaced. And also, secondly, former governor of Warapi State, Sarah, she was also removed and replaced by a man, you see. So this is the challenges we are really facing. And earlier forces marriage also, us as young girl. Yeah,
All right.
these are the things we are facing.
Sarah Kilito, that's Western Barakazali State. Now over to you, that's Samantha Joel Smith from that's TNLA. Apart from some of the barriers, Mrs. That's Agnes mentioned, what are some of the issues that are really hindering women in South Sudan?
Okay, thanks so much, Mr. Jamis, and to the listeners out there. We have a lot of barriers that is hindering women participation and involvement in politics in South Sudan. We have cultural and traditional norms in South Sudan right now. Women are looked down to. They are thought to be at home, caregiving, and taking care of their homes. They are not thought to be like men who can take up positions in politics. That is one. And the violence and conflicts in the country right now, it's actually affecting so much women and children. They have become vulnerable to the conflicts in South Sudan. So they are in the camps, making it so hard for them to practice politics in their country because they are out of the country. Their economic empowerment, disempowerment, they are not being supported economically. That is to say, financially, they are not supported because they are taught to they are taught to do domestic works. Yeah. But you get in the political parties, when a man comes up to say, I want to contest for this post, they give them financial support, but to women, they don't give. So it also hinders them from accessing this the political arena.
All right. But, Mando, when we talked of that culture, which is one of the obstacle or barriers, it's very difficult because culture is here to stay, and every society have got their own ways of also conducting their social behaviors. Now, at the TNLA, what are you people doing to address issues of that culture that are also contributing to that the women participation in politics and leadership?
All right, thanks so much, Mr. James, for that. What we're doing is with the NPC, we are engaging men, that is he for she, who also advocates for women's participation in the political posts. And then we encourage the women in the politics right now to get down to the grassroots, to encourage young girls to, right from let's say primary, secondary, to contest for the prefectorial posts. So it builds their ability, it builds the techniques, and then their political careers. Yeah.
Well, let me cross over to Molana. Yes, before you add on what Mandra Smith said, earlier on, Agnes raised a very serious issue that some of the political positions are taken up by men. So what role is men doing in order to counter such issues? And then later on you add.
Yeah, thank you very much, the presenters or the host, James. Agnes mentioned something very important, and I would like to start with the reason one. The deputy governor of Jonglei State was a female, and she's from the SPLM. Now, SPLM taken the position for the governorship, and I hope if the show or which party is going to nominate the deputy governor of Jonglei State, I'm arguing all those political parties to bring a woman in the same place of the woman. And that is very important. She talk up, and one thing again she mentioned, which is very important, the women are facing challenges so much, Mr. James, and also the two colleagues here. Most of the meeting in the politics, they are done at night, evening hours. And all those hours, the women are requested or they are asked to be at home with the children. Now, if my wife or somebody's wife go and attend the meeting at 10, will the husband accept to allow his wife to go and attend the meeting? Very important. And in most cases, women lost the position because they are not allowed to attend the meeting at late hours. This is one of the things also we need to correct as a man. Allow your wife to join any political party of our choice. Not that because I'm from party A, my wife should become also part of that one. No. Legally, a woman has right to stand for her own political party. But again, I'm still arguing. Being a political party is not enough for the woman to be supported by the men. Let me say it like in media houses, something called leadership. Media houses also can have a big role to allow the women to participate in leadership, including civil societies, national NGOs. See, some women, they are very excellent in terms of positive performance, but they are not allowed because when she's pregnant, some say, no, now we can replace her. When she's maybe on maternity, a lot of things happening. But legally, we said what a man can do, a woman can do in leadership and in political area. Then, simple example, one of the society made a meeting done by politicians. They went and they said, we are going to build for you the public toilet. And they did not call the women for the meeting, only the men. Then they went and built public toilet without a consultation from the women. And they said, this toilet is for the women and this one for the men. When the women realized that they have built for them a toilet, they said, no, we are not consulted. What is important for us is the health facilities. The women left the public toilet and they went to the bush for any call. You have seen what I said, which means women is very important in any decision making. And again, we can make closer in our civil society. Talk about something about social development. When we have a sorrow or funeral prayer or any kind of things, it's the men who are staying in the meeting. After the meeting budgeting, they call the women out to go and purchase all those things. Any activities without a wife or a woman will never succeed. I advise all the men who are holding other positions, you should support your women, your girls in any capacity so that we make a positive change in our society, in our party. Thank you.
Over to you, Amanda Smith. We have seen men-led initiative or peace initiative that are spearheaded by men, but they rarely bear fruits. Now, earlier on, Ms. Agnes talked of, women participation in leadership at the TNLA. What are some of the strategies? We have seen Tumaini Initiative. We have seen the 2018 Revitalized Peace Agreement. Most of these agreements were spearheaded by men. But we have seen the results now. What are some of the strategies currently you would recommend in order for women also to come in and take some of this initiative?
Okay. Thank you so much, James. The strategies that I will recommend are empowering women, empowering school-going girls to participate in politics at the level in which they are, and bringing them to leadership, right from primary, secondary, and then even at university level. That there should be capacity building training sessions that makes them understand at least the capacity, the political roles can be taken by them.
Well, now, most of the challenges is, for example, when we talked of access to education, there are some other areas up to now it's hard to reach, and at the same time, there are no good structures or teachers to deliver quality, services in those areas. And in such a way, Maulana, how does it really work? Let me get back to you before I cross over to that.
I think the presidents declare that there's a free education. And when everyone interpreted, said free education start from nursery up to university. No. The free education we are talking about, access to free education we are talking about from nursery to senior 4. Because that one, where you see, that's already foundation. But when you already finish senior 4, you can do some other thing for yourself. Am I right? And it has been there. But when you see practically in our country, the government schools are very few. The private schools are very many, and they're very expensive. I remember I think 2 months ago, when the ministry called the private school about the dollars, because they want tuition fee to be done in dollar, and government said, no, you can convert in the pound. But it's still, the pre-education we are not realizing is exists in our country. Let us not talk in Juba. Go back. I will take simple example. When you go to Eastern Equatoria, like Lapon, you can only get one secondary school which is not operational and with very less access to services, like a textbook, the desk, and they are not there. And we say that we have a free education. See, what I will say that is more challenges to the citizen because they cannot access a quality education and they cannot access the pre-education.
All right. Yeah. Now, over to you, that's Mrs. Agnes. There's already 35% affirmative action given by the government. Why are women not tapping that opportunity?
All right. Thank you so much for coming back to me. Actually, the affirmative action is there, the 35% is there, but it is not implemented.
Why?
Yeah. It is not implemented through you men. Yeah, we are also waiting from the government to say that it is implemented. So now this should be done, this and that, but no. For us ourselves, we know we have the affirmative active 35 action, 35%. All right, in transitional constitution, Article 25, subsection 1, say that the right to peaceful assembly and association, as advocate mentioned, that some meetings are done at night of which women cannot attend. Since our constitution talk about it, why not for them to inform women to come and sit together with them and attend the meeting? What is it that necessary? And also in transitional constitution, Article 14, Article 14 say that all persons are equal before the law, and to equal protection of the law, no discrimination is there. So why is it that not women are allowed to participate in some private things with the men, So this is why most of the things are missing us out. That is why we cannot follow the 35%, okay? Maybe they will even sit at night and talk about the 35%. It should not be implemented. So we will not hear about it, and then it will be secret. Like what is happening right now with our constitution. It has been amended for 12 times and people don't know anything about it. So this kind of secret, it can happen. It is very simple.
But some of your critics will say the 35% affirmative action is already given or announced. Why don't you fight for it instead of waiting for the men to come and say, okay, here's a 35%?
Okay, thank you so much. We are fighting so hard, but they are bringing us down every day.
Okay. Now, over to you, Mandre. Why are you bringing the women down, or why are you taking the 35% affirmative action? Over to you.
That is, thank you. It's political violence and intimidations. Yeah, it exists, and it's one thing that we are looking forward to because legally they say in the papers that women are supposed to be, they are supposed to participate. But these things are signed on the papers, they are not being practiced. So it's what we are pushing for, that it shouldn't be only on papers, but it should be practically. And it's so hard here, as she said. You can talk of, we have given you this the opportunity, and then the government, let me say, they're appointing men, they're not bringing up women. And these women are not women who are not capable. They're women who are capable. They're women who are educated. So it's one thing we're pushing for.
Yes, over to you, Molana.
Yeah, I think that's a very good question, and I would like to also add something very small on 35%. 35% people think only in the political party positions. No. 35% can be in the political positions and also can be in the, like example, in high radio. They need to implement what is called 35%. The same in the church. The same in any whatever, what in the school and so on. Political party, they are there for those who are willing, as I said earlier. Those women who want to participate in the political arena, you are right to choose any political party of your choice. But again, if you're in any society, like you're in a civil society, you also need to implement 35%. Whatever organization we have, we need 35%. That's what I need to add on what you have said. But again, she mentioned something very important about the constitution. When you see our constitution now, the Republic of South Sudan we have, there's something lacking about the cultural and non-practicing. We want this constitution now to come to go down on the ground, because the women who are on the ground there, they can explain more better about their culture. Because the culture, let me set example, the culture of community of Eastern Equatoria are different with some other culture from Greater Barghazal. See, when we go down for consultation, then we bring all the cultures of South Sudanese inside the constitution, you'll have seen that the women will be fully supported by men by implementing what already been put in the constitution. But at the moment, this is what is lacking now in our constitution making process.
Via our Facebook page, Agnes from Nimule, she's saying the 35% affirmative action given by the government is not to be exercised. Do you subscribe to that opinion?
It's said to be not being exercised?
Exercise. It's just like a symbolic kind of...
yeah, thank you very much for that question. But I will have said, I'm the first national ambassador of gender-based violence in South Sudan. You can Google my name and you will get it there. I fought a right for the women for a long time. Now, what she asks, the same like you are right. You cannot request for your right, James, give me my right. You demand for your right. And I need to ask my sister down from Numule to say that if you know 35% are there, please you demand for it.
But how do you demand in an environment where there's a conflict, where there's a degree, like Agnes mentioned, and normally you realize you are at home?
We make through influence. Like assume, like me, I'm ambassador of the national gender-based violence. Have a role to connect the leadership of the women with the leadership of the government and try to see what you can do through the influence, not by fight. And again, something called support. I remember this morning they were meeting for the women collusion somewhere. And that is where the deputy governor spoke. And that is very important for the men to support women. When they came up like that one, they educated on how they can approach some other issues. Yeah, we know our situation is not okay, but we cannot wait by not implementing 35%. No.
All right. Well, let's now take a quick break. When we come back, that's when we shall be giving you that opportunity on 0911022986.
Ready to take your business to new heights? The Women Entrepreneurial Opportunity Facility, WOF, is here to support you. The Women Entrepreneurial Opportunity Facility offers a unique opportunity for female entrepreneurs in Juba to scale their businesses and enter new markets, supported by a collaboration between the World Bank, the Ministry of Gender, Child and Social Welfare, UN Women, the International Rescue Committee IRC, and Open Capital Advisors OCA. Participants will receive tailored training, expert advisory services, and access to financing specifically designed to meet their business needs, empowering them to unlock their potential and explore new possibilities for growth and success in a challenging economic landscape. WOF builds on 3 key pillars. The Seed Lab for emerging micro and small businesses offers a boot camp focused on basic business and financial skills and a pitch competition, followed by a more in-depth accelerator program with grants of up to 4,000 USD. The Growth Lab for medium and large size businesses provides tailored business development support, one-on-one coaching, and grants of up to 50,000 USD. The WOF Connect brings participants together to network and share knowledge. South Sudanese women entrepreneurs are invited to apply for the Seed Lab and Growth Lab programs, focusing on priority sectors such as agriculture, energy, creative arts, and healthcare. This opportunity is specifically for female entrepreneurs in Juba looking to elevate their businesses. Interested applicants should visit the Central Equatorial Chamber of Commerce, Central Equatorial Women Union, or the Central Equatorial State Ministry of Gender, Child and Social Welfare for further information and application details. Note that applications will close soon on 18th March 2025 at 4 p.m. So act quickly to seize this chance for expert support, catalytic grants, and peer inspiration to transform your business. For any feedback about the project, please call 09 28 00 69 20 or 09 11 19 16 58.
This is iRadio. When contributing to a topic on the radio, please avoid statements that may incite or promote hate. We encourage constructive points of views and criticisms that aim at providing solutions to problems facing the country. We do not want rumor mongering or information that is regarded as hearsays. We advocate for messages of peace and unity among the people of South Sudan. This is iRadio, your eye on South Sudan.
The Sun Down for the news, views, opinion, debates, and discussions. Listen to who is who talking about issues that affect our country and continent. Only on the Sundown, your eye on South Sudan.
Hello, welcome back from that commercial break. Even in case you have just joined us, you are listening to the Sundown Show with me, Madrama James. And of course, my guest in the studio is Miss Agnes Dramio. From the National Press Club, and she is the secretary. And I'm glad also to be joined by Andre Joel Smith, from TNLA, University of Juba, and we have Maulana Mario from Catholic University. Please, if you have a comment or question to my guest as we are talking about women's political participation and leadership, do call us now, and we will be glad to hear from you. I read you.
Good evening.
Good evening, Diang.
Thank you. My greeting to your guests.
Thank you.
Actually, things to do with the women empowerment is something that we are talking about. But sometimes, sometimes I like to say truth, facts. I want to give a comment, then I will ask question to the guests.
Yeah, do that because of time.
My comment is that, there are, in nature, what I have seen, human beings want to go against nature. And that's why sometimes we have rises conflicts in the world. Human beings have reached the extent that there is missiles being produced, people are ready to fight, countries ready to defend itself from another country. It is because that human beings went against God's decision. And human beings went against nature. And that's why everybody become ready, defensive against others. The same thing is happening in men and women now. Because human beings want to go against nature, the way God created woman and the way God created men. As a human being with our own perceptions, we need to go against the nature, and that's why the issue of GBV have come in. The issue of rights being taken have come in. It is just because we are going against nature. For example, when we talk of women not attending the night meetings, I think it is not even a concern to be addressed. Because women naturally, they are not meant to move at night. Even my sister who is talking in the studio, if she is told by her man, move any day at night, anytime you want, I think she will not accept. She will just by herself tell the man, I am a woman. But you want me to move anyhow.
So what's your question now? So what's your question because of time? Yeah.
So my action is this: nature is nature, because women can be pregnant, women can be lactating, women can be what. There are things that make women to remain at home. Whatsoever you do, what you want her to do, what the nature will not allow her to do some other thing, because she's a woman. God created her like that because she can be detained by that nature to see her as a woman at home. So now my question to guys is that when it comes to gender equality, yes, it's something everybody is fighting for. But now I have seen a world where the women's right is promoted. Women are violating men. For example, if women become powerful, powerful, they don't need unresourceful men. So what do you think? Who is violating who? For example, I'm a married man. Maybe my wife might be a village woman. She might be with me. We deliver children. We grow together. We remain happily. But when you women having resource and the men have no resource, I never got that. What's happening? Some of you are divorcing and remain single. They say that I'm a woman. I never think. I don't care. I don't want men. So what is that?
Thank you. Thank you. Ms. Agnes will answer your question right here. Which women are found of that's rejecting their poor husband? What's happening? I read you.
All right, thank you so
much. Wait a bit. I read you. I read you. I read you. Okay. I read you.
Yes, good evening. I read you.
Good evening.
Yes, the Tem Black in Northern Bargazal.
Tem Black, good to have you.
Yes, thank you for that. I agree you are there and the guests in the studio. I give them this up everything.
Thank you, my brother.
My question is this. If we talk about the women empowerment, it means that those women who are in the capital city are the ones that are going to have the right to get access to the empowerment. But there are other women who are in the villages there, down the grassroots, and there is no network whereby they can get information. And there are other women who do not think about the right of themselves. Because nowadays there are other places which are so far away from the town.
What is the way forward?
There are things that have been conducted, the right of the woman. But now, I just want to ask my sister there in the studio, how do you manage to have a person that can reach the far place, that our mother, which are there in the far place, can get the right?
Thank you. Thank you so much, my brother. Tem Black, I read you.
James, good evening.
Good evening, David.
My brother, let me welcome your guests in the studio.
Thank you.
And I would like to have some questions to them.
Go ahead.
Number one, the culture says that the first office of a lady is the kitchen. And now the educated ladies, sometimes they don't even want to cook. They don't want even to respect the right of the man and so forth. For your advice, what will you tell the educated girls so that they just normalize themselves and be in a channel of a women? Because if you are staying in the house and you don't respect head of the family, do you think that family will be okay? Or do you want to tell the people that people are not going to marry educated ladies? This is number one. Number two, talking about gender equality. You are saying that what a man can do, a woman can do it better. Why are you not talking about peace in South Sudan? Where is your role here as a woman? You are talking about 35, and this 35 is connected with the peace. So if there is no peace, where are you going to get your 35 affirmative action? Lastly, I would like to ask my brother, who is what is so-called men for women. And these men for women now currently, sometimes they don't listen to the advice that the women are giving to them. Are we going to remain in confusion like this because those who are dying are the women and children? Now, what is the process or the way forward to come out from the problem so that we can even kind of debate about the percentages without problem?
Thank you. Molana is here. And of course, Andre Smith will answer your question quickly. Now, because of time, I will give chance to one or two callers and then... All right. You can still bounce back by calling us on that 091102298696. Hi, Radio.
Yes, hi, Radio.
Community Advisor.
No, this is Mike.
Welcome, Mike.
Yeah, I'm also calling to Korea.
Yes.
So, in fact, I wanted to know about women. I'm asking this lady in the studio.
Agnes.
Why are they complaining a lot in this new generation? Yeah, they're complaining a lot. Now, they wanted cheap things. They wanted to rush into politics.
What is a complaint that you have really picked from this discussion?
The complaint they're having that they are not having balance in the offices over what is the politics. They are not accepting that they have given them over 35% over what. So why ladies are complaining they won't compete with men?
All right. Thank you.
You cannot compete with a man. We are ahead of them.
Thank you. She is here. She will get back to you. I know it's your opportunity to talk. Mafi Mushkila. Thank you so much, Mike from Medina Borai Radio. Last caller. Radio? Now, this seems not to be ready. Let me talk to my last caller now. Radio? There you are. Community Advisor.
Community Advisor from board.
Yes, from board. Good to have you. What's your take?
My take is we are ready to empower our women. And who will be controlling those resources? Is it men to control those resources or...
Oh, quite unfortunate. But your question is clear. We are left with only 6 minutes. So let me start by Ms. Agnes. First question to you. Rich women are not that stable in their homes, but the opposite is true. What's happening?
It's all right. Thank you so much, our listeners from outside. I appreciate your questions. Your questions are all nice. And unfortunately, from my gender, no one called, and I got so disappointed.
Sure.
It's really bad, and it's really hurting indeed. All right, I'm going to answer all the questions that you raised. I'm having like 3 questions around here. That why is it if women become so powerful or rich, they will start like misbehaving at home or leaving their husband, you know? There is nothing like that. The understanding it is between 2 of you at your home, you know? The understanding is between 2 of you at home, not because the woman become rich, you know? Sometimes if we become rich and you treat us badly, we also feel threat. It is really bad. And then second to it, people outside are not seeing. If you are treating your woman badly, beating her, doing like we call it gender-based violence. Actually, it's really bad. Yeah, that is whereby a woman will decide to leave you because she has the resources and she can settle alone. Since you are beating her all the time, she will even get tired. Okay, like question number 2: how do we manage? The people who are in the grassroots level are not women who are in the grassroots level, right? Who are not getting there, right? Okay. So in this case, I will just advise the public or call upon the government. Yeah, I will call upon the government to go for mentorship. Yeah, to go for mentorship around the grassroots level or which villages, some deep villages. Who does not know what is really happening in Juba, because now most of the things are happening in Juba. People in the village, they are not getting. Imagine recently I heard a story from a certain woman. She's just coming from a village called Opari. Yeah, she met a Yaba there. The Yaba said, where are you coming from? She was like, I'm coming from Juba. She said that, now how is Dr. John Gereng? Are you seeing this? So people in the grassroots level, they are not getting what is really happening. He does not know that Gereng is still alive or not still alive. Up to this time, he does not know who is his president, you know. So I'm calling upon the government, if there is any possibility of them providing mentorship in the villages, or else like also providing them with radios, okay? Yeah, so that they will also connect and hear what is happening. They can also manage to call and also tell us what they really want and their advice, you know. Those people, they really have a lot.
All right, quickly, Mike is saying, why are you complaining that you want to be equal to men?
Of course, we want to be equal to men. It is according to a constitution, not to our own right, okay? Yeah.
All right. Mandre, over to you.
Allow me first to talk this.
Yeah.
In Transitional Constitution, Article 16, provide a right of women, okay? Provide a right of women, sub-article 1. Women shall be accrued fully and equal dignity of a person with a man. Are you seeing this? So why is it not us going together with men, if so?
All right. Mandre, over to you. Because of time, you can have some of your reflections based on the question our audience have asked.
Okay, thanks so much, the listeners out there. I'm grateful for the questions and your attendance. I'd like to talk about the why women are to be equal to men. And women, when they are given the chances, they tend to forget other responsibilities that they are supposed to take, like change in attitude and that. I would like to say women are not to be categories, like they're not to work for men. They are to be partners with men. And that's why there is a coupling and a partnership with in a home. So whenever issues arises, the man has to sit with a woman that we need to do things like this. And of course, a woman, a reasoning woman cannot be, because of a post or because of the resources that she has, she cannot start living the home that she has built, because it is also important for them to have a home. All right. Yeah.
All right. Over to you, Maulana, in 1 minute, if you can summarize the question. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you very much. And I have just very few things. She talked about the people in rural area, not a village. People in rural area, they are not aware on the current government system. And that question can go to our member of parliament, who are representing them in the parliament or in a local county, the local government. They should create that awareness. And also she mentioned something very important. I am a man for woman. Why? Because a woman cannot work alone without a man. The same like a man cannot work alone without a woman. Some women said, I want to become a politician, provided I'm a single mother or I'm not married. See, it cannot give you, because man and a woman, they can move aside. Other women, they lose their scholarship because they did not agree with their wife and husband, and they cannot go out. Then the last one, she talked about why many women are withdrawing from their partnership. I think it's very common. Let me say, like in Juba here. Women are doing something good called like a rabbiter. In a rabbiter, women go and raise some money for buying the plate and other thing. But apart from collecting all those money for family economic empowerment, there's something called defamation. Algali sunu maharbi. How do you call it? Samshara?
Yeah, too.
Yes. Yeah, there's something said that they go to tack their problem of the family. Why you are very thin? You know, my husband is a drunkard, he's beating me all the time. See, they talk something very important, economic empowerment, but again, sometimes they go to social issues which can
the end of gossiping
of the divorce.
All right. Yes, I would love us to continue with this conversation because it's very important, and callers are also, trying to get back to us, but because of time, allow me now to give this chance to Miss Agnes to have final remarks as we have come to the end of this in 30 seconds, if you can.
It's all right. Thank you so much, James, for hosting us. This is really amazing. It's really good. And thanks so much for our listeners out there. We thank you so much for being always with us. You know, we need women empowerment. We need women to be really empowered. You know, we are happy that we are having a woman in judiciary reform secretariat, and that's her name is Justice Ajonye. She's such a good person. You know, we need all the women to raise up to be like her. You know, and I'm also wishing, like, if coming years you can start for election, and if there is some of the women who can stand with her, okay, we take her up. We need coming election to be women and men. We go together. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Over to you, Mandre Smith.
Yeah, thank you. I would like to say, men out there should support their women. They should not despise their roles, and they should not keep them as domestic workers. And I would like to give a vote of thanks to UN Women and Peace Building Fund for partnering and funding to NPC, who is implementing the project, which is so important for us in the country, that empowers our women who can support us in the things that we cannot do. And thank you so much, the listeners out there.
Finally, over to you, Maulana.
Yeah, thank you very much. I know there's no time. Thank you for High Radio. Thank you for MPC. Thank you for UN Women. My message to all those who are listening, let the men work together side by side with the women. Thank you very much.
All right. Dear listener, of course, with that, we have come to the end of the first hour of That's the Sundown. And my esteemed guest in the studio happens to be Miss Agnes Dramillo from the NPC. And of course, we have Mandre Joel Smith from TNLA University of Juba. And finally, Maulana. And we have been talking about women, political participation and leadership. Up next is, of course, a news headline in English and Arabic. Do stay tuned. I am your host, Madrama James. Finally, Maulana, and we have been talking about women, political participation and leadership. Up next is, of course, a news headline in English and Arabic. Stay tuned.